4th of July. This is Amanda Schmidt with Snappy New Day Art. And if you don't know me, I teach people who are new to watercolor to stop being overwhelmed by teaching projects in little bite-sized steps so they have a hobby that lights them up and make artwork that they love. So today we are doing a really fun firework project in honor of the 4th of July. So if you are in the States, then hopefully you are having a really fun, relaxing day. And I hope you're spending time with family, doing all the fun things, shooting off fireworks and all that. So pop on and say hi and let me know you are here. And thank you so much for joining me on this holiday. It's pretty hot outside right now, so I figure, you know what, people might be inside right now, because at least where I am, it's pretty soupy out there. So if you're outside, hopefully you're in the shade. It's pretty hot. But if not, hopefully you're getting to watch this later on tonight. So yeah, happy 4th, and thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, guys? So like I said, we are doing this really fun fireworks design, and I'm not using actual watercolor today. I'm using watercolor pencils. Here, there we go. Watercolor pencils. Fun, right? I don't know if I've ever done a live using watercolor pencils. So if you have those, use them. If you have regular watercolor paint, you can use that. Really, this design, you could use whatever you want. But I will be using watercolor pencils today. So I'll be showing you a little bit more about how to use those and how I use them. And I'm using just regular watercolor paper today. I'm using my practice stuff, actually, the Canson brand. That's what I'm using. And then the brand of watercolor pencils is Arteza. So this is the brand you can get on Amazon. I really like these pencils. Partly because they are triangle. I don't know why that appeals to me. But see, it's like a triangle shape. I don't know, there's something fun about a triangle pencil. When I'm at school, the kids, I don't have them anymore. I need to get some. They love, I had some like triangle shaped pencils, for a long time, just randomly, and they love those things. So I don't know, it's something about a fun triangle pencil. Who knows? It's the little things, right? All right, so yeah, if you guys are just hopping on, we're going to be painting this. I guess you could technically call it painting. We're not using paint. I'm using watercolor pencils as the base for my paint. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so let's see here. There we go. Okay, so you're going to need, if you're going to do it exactly like I'm doing it, I'm using watercolor pencil like I said. You're also going to need a smaller brush because these little spaces are pretty small. So I'm using a pretty small brush. This is a size 4 round brush, but you do need a round brush because it has a tip and you need something pointy, okay? So there we go. What else did I need to tell you? Oh, if you do this project, this is what I want you to do for me, okay? If you do this project, I want you to post it. Preferably, I mean, you can do it on your own Facebook page, or you can put it on my Facebook page. But I encourage you to share this piece on your page, especially since it's for the holiday, and tag me. So tag me at Snappy New Day, and then it should pop up, and then you should be able to tag me. Okay, so there we go. All right, let's get going. So for my example here, I used like pinks and oranges, and I think what I'm going to do is use like blues and purples and maybe some pink in there. So that is something that you need to decide, is like, what color scheme are you going to use? I would pick no more than 3 colors. And so I'm going to do, let's do, I want to do something purpley, and then a blue. Ooh, this is like a, blueberry. Ooh, there we go. And then how about a pink? Purple, a blue, and a pink. Those will go good. They kind of go together in the color wheel. And the reason why I'm picking some that kind of go together in the color wheel is because if you do like a yellow and a purple and you're mixing them, they might turn out to be brown. And that doesn't look very fireworkish. So that's why I like to do these. Even if they mix, they still look like some kind of shade of purple, okay? Or blue. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and if you guys have any questions as I go, please feel free to ask them and pop on and say hi. I don't have my computer sitting here, so I don't know who's here. And when I'm just using my video software, it doesn't let me know who just is like randomly scrolling by. So if you're scrolling by, hey guys, happy 4th. I'm glad you're here. All right, so basically, to do this firework design, all you're doing are teardrop shapes. That is all you're doing. So I like to start kind of going out to the corner. So I'm going. So if you picture like, even you can even do a little circle if you want. Picture like a little center point, kind of like a flower. And I'm going to do a teardrop out and another teardrop out. And I'm going to go in and fill the rest later. Ooh, can you guys see that? There. And then I'm just going to kind of keep going around that center point, okay? Some of them can be smaller, some of them can be bigger, some of them can be kind of closer together. So hopefully you've seen some fireworks so far. We did our little firework extravaganza last night at my folks' house with the fam, and all the kids were there, and it was really fun. It's fun, you know, the kids have fun too, but seeing the guys with the big kids playing with fireworks it's a hoot. I think they have more fun than the kids, you know. So we saw some pretty cool fireworks last night, and the ones that really stuck out in my mind as like super pretty were like the blue ones. So that's why I kind of wanted to do the blue ones today. All right, so let's leave that there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, like I said, I had picked 3 colors. So what I'm going to do is start shading in my little spaces. So when you're using watercolor pencils, you have a really great way of being very exact as to where you want your colors to be, which is kind of nice. So if you are more of somebody that is a little more comfortable with it right now, more drawing or using colored pencil, using watercolor pencil to get started, I don't want that color, is a really great way to kind of feel out like how watercolor could look. Okay, so I just did my 3 colors. So this is like a purple and then a blue and then a pink. All right. And so what I'm going to do, let me show you how this is going to work. I've got my little round brush here, and there we go. My lighting's a little funky today. All right, and I'm going to grab my water, but not with too much water. Like if I hold my brush and it's dripping like big drips, you need to dab off your brush a little bit. But I'm going to get a little bit of water and just start at one point and start turning that watercolor pencil into watercolor. The cool thing about watercolor pencil is that the pencil part it can be dissolved by water. So then it turns into the paint. You're putting your pigment down on the paper with your pencil, but then you're turning it into watercolor paint, which is really fun. And it's a really neat way to blend some colors together. And so that'll just basically dissolve as the water sits on it. Cool, huh? Now, and I will say, there are, it is possible that if you just have watercolor pencil, or I mean, sorry, colored pencils, you might be able to get that to dissolve a little bit. It won't probably dissolve as like as readily as watercolor pencil. But if you only had colored pencils, you could totally try this. And it would probably work better than you think, okay? All right, so let's keep going. So one thing I was gonna ask you guys is, so when I think of like summer, a lot of time, especially when it gets to around 4th of July for some reason, I always think of like when we were kids, we would get Highlights magazine every month. I loved Highlights. Let me know if you had Highlights as a kid. And we would immediately flip to the craft section. And I loved the Highlights magazine because the craft section was usually like seasonal. So like this time of year, it would have like 4th of July stuff, which was really fun. And that was like one of my earliest memories of like loving making stuff and crafting and doing art stuff. And I call that like my first like spark of being creative and wanting to be making things all the time, artistic stuff. So I was going to ask you, like, do you have a memory of what you think your first like spark is? And so your spark may not be art. Your spark might be reading or writing or whatever. But I was curious, what was your first spark as a kiddo? It's usually something, I find that it's usually something that you probably did as a kid and it sort of followed you through into adulthood, even without you trying. Like like I said, I did art stuff all as a kid, all the time. And then, you go to college and you get like busy doing the adulting thing, and you kind of get too busy, or it kind of loses you for a while, but sure enough, it finds you again. So watercolor had been that kind of catalyst of me going, oh yeah, I really, really, really like making things and making art. I never did watercolor as a kid necessarily, but it's just kind of what helped me re-find my spark. So yeah, I'm always curious, like what people know is their spark. Like you're usually doing it as a kid. Like if you love like building things as a kid, chances are you do something now that involves building of some kind. It's kind of interesting. So if you really think about it, you could probably think about what your spark was as a kid. And it always finds you. Oh, that's looking fun, right? Really fun. Can you see that okay? So yeah, you could do whatever color scheme, like I said, by the way. If you wanted to do oranges and like pinks like this, you could do like really deep reds. We saw all kinds of colors doing the fireworks last night. So let me know too. Oh, hi Melanie, happy 4th to you. Let me know if you've ever used watercolor pencils before. These are really fun, I have to say. I think I'm going to start using them a little bit more. I usually use them as like an outline if I'm drawing something on my watercolor paper. I'll usually use them to do an outline or my sketch because the drawing pencil line will dissolve. But this is really fun. So I think I'm going to have to bust out the watercolor pencils a little more often. They are really fun. And you can use them a few different ways. I'm using them putting the pencil on the paper dry. You can actually also, I've been told, I don't really use it this way, or I haven't had much experience anyway doing it this way, but you can also wet the paper first and then kind of put the pencil pigment from the watercolor pencil onto the paper, which is kind of an interesting way to do it. I have not done that. I think I feel like I have a little more control doing it this way. So see how cool and like easy it was to blend those colors together? Like if you're new to watercolor, it can be a little bit tricky to blend colors. Yes, Melly, ink tents. Those are fun too. I have those. Those are like, I found, it's been a while since I've used them, but yeah, there's something called ink tents pencils, guys. They're from Derwent, I think. They are incredibly pigmented watercolor pencils, essentially. And they're like, they're so pigmented. It's crazy. Yeah, I might bust those out again. Those were fun. It's one of those things I bought a long time ago, and then you put them away. Maybe I should, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go through my art supply closet and pull out some stuff that I haven't pulled out in a while. That might be fun. We can call it like craft closet clean out and do a bunch of projects based on what I find in there. That is one thing that this summer I really want to organize my stuff. I'm fairly organized, but like there's probably stuff that I never use and probably never will use, or I've forgotten that I bought. Let me know if you do that, because there's probably quite a few art supplies in there that I forgot I even had. And I was just going through, like, I have books, like so many books. I'm like, oh, this is a cool one. And what a great place to get ideas. You know, I'm like, why am I like racking my brain sometimes to get ideas for projects when I have lots of books that can help me, you know? Use my resources. I'm not using my resources, but part of it's because it's not super organized. So I need to do that. Organizing is not my spark. You know, I was talking about spark. And for some people it is. Like they love organizing. They love, you know, putting things in order. Not me. I might go through a spurt. Like I just organized my closet. Not because I really wanted to. It was because I needed to. Oh yeah, good idea, Melanie. Let's try it. So like I was saying, you can use, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. You can use this dry and then put your water on top, or you can use it wet and then put the pencil on top. So let's try that one on this one. Okay, so I'm going to get my clean water and wet my paper. Okay, so that's wet. You can kind of see it's shimmery, hopefully. Yeah, shimmery. It's got water on there. And let's grab one of our colors here. This is ultramarine, so this is like the blue. Ooh. Ooh, it can really, it kind of makes it more intense. I like it. So yeah. Ooh, this is nice. Ooh, I think I like this way better. How cool. See guys, I wetted the paper and now I'm using my pencil to basically color in watercolor. How fun. How fun is that? Let me grab a different color. I do think you definitely need plenty of water. How fun is that? Ooh, see how, wow, look at the difference. Like this was with the wet paper and then I put the pencil on top. This was pencil on top and then I wet the paper. So I think both have a place, but look how intense that color is compared to over here, which is still very pretty. And I could go over it another layer for sure. But wow, cool. Thanks for the suggestion, Melanie. I love it. I think I might do, you know what, I'll do the rest of these using that technique, and then we'll kind of see the difference. Okay, so like I said, if you guys are just popping on, we're trying out watercolor pencils. I'm wetting my paper first, actually, this time around, and we're kind of seeing what fun stuff we can do. It really makes a pretty end result. Okay, so yeah, so if you're here, happy 4th of July. I am Amanda Schmidt with Snappy New Day Art. Yeah, oh yeah, I do need to go back in, don't I, Melanie? So yeah, you can grab your brush again and kind of smooth it out a little bit. Really nice. And these were not expensive watercolor pencils, guys. Yeah. Ooh, so fancy. Thanks for the suggestion, Melanie. All right. So fun. This would be really fun. You know what? Maybe I'll bust these out again. When you're doing flowers, I think flowers, some of those colors are so, oops, I forgot to wet my paper. When you're doing flowers, it can be a little bit tricky to put the color exactly where you want. And I think you can even use regular watercolor and then add on watercolor pencil, but that would be a really fun way to try to do some flowers. So maybe we'll bust out these watercolor pencils again. Let's just do pink on this one. This is a really pretty pink. This one's color is called Plum. I don't think that looks like plum. Looks more like bubble gum. Still pretty. This is not plum. I found that that's kind of the oh yeah, or lettering, yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, for the lettering on mine, I use a black brush pen, but you can use whatever you have. You can even use a Sharpie. So let me know what you guys are doing for the 4th today. Today, like I said, we kind of did our fireworks extravaganza last night. So today we are home and my husband is doing a pork shoulder on the smoker. He's been up since 5:30. And we're having pulled pork for supper. There we go. Ooh, so much fun. And I don't know, we might go out and grab some more. It's just us, so you know, we might go out and grab some more fireworks for fun. I don't know. We'll have to see. The weather should be pretty good. It's going to be kind of hot, but you know, once the sun goes down, it shouldn't be too bad. So let me know what you're doing for the 4th. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And let me know if you've ever used watercolor pencil before, or if you've ever done watercolor. These are so much fun. Oh, you too, Melanie. Thanks for popping in. See ya. All right. So yeah, we saw all kinds of fun colors in fireworks last night. There we go. And one more. How about that? One more teardrop shape. So right now it almost looks like a flower, doesn't it? But it is not. These are our fireworks. Okay, and so if you are just popping on, I'm using watercolor pencil today. And I'm using kind of a purple, blue, pink color scheme. And we're trying out, actually, we ended up trying out 2 different ways to do, to use these watercolor pencils. So on these, I colored it first on the paper, and then I put water over the pencil, which looks lovely. It kind of creates a little bit of a more subtle color. And then on this half of my firework, I put the water first on the paper, and then I took the pencil and used that to apply the pigment that way. So both are really fun. So if you have watercolor pencils laying around, I highly suggest you use them. They're really fun. I don't know if I've ever really used them to put like to make an actual like project. I usually use them in tandem as like a tool, but oh my gosh, these are so much fun. Okay, so now we are pretty much done with the major part of the fireworks. So we need to start adding our details, okay? So you can go in right now with your black pen or marker. What I think I would like to do first is kind of add in some, like take just my pencil here, watercolor pencil, and use it as a pencil. And add some details that way. Just kind of add a little bit more color. And by the way, if you guys are doing fireworks today, be sure to be very careful, okay? Be very, very careful. Be smart. Don't go shooting bottle rockets at people. It's not safe. No one wants to call you stubby. That's what I tell my nieces and nephews. I'm like, we don't want to call you stubby. Be careful. In all seriousness, it could be very serious. No burns, no missing fingers, so please be careful. Or if you really don't want to, you know, mess with the real fireworks, you can just paint one like this. All right, so how about this? This is our fireworks. So much fun. Okay, so now that should be pretty dry. I'm gonna do our lettering. So I found this fun little saying, leave a sparkle wherever you go. So I'm gonna do that one again. Feel free to use whatever you like. And by the way, if you are going to do this project, I highly encourage you to post it for yourself and then tag me so I can see it, okay? All right, so I used a brush pen earlier that looks like this. I don't know what brand this one is, but I found it at the art, you know, the nicer pens at the art supply store. But I wanted to do it in just Sharpie so you can see, like, you really don't need a fancy pen. So let's see here. Let's see if I can duplicate this bad boy. All right, so I'm going to say leave. Ooh, this marker is not the juiciest right now. And so when I do my lettering, I love to mix up like big letters and little letters. Let's do this. Oops. Forgot what I was doing with my E's. There we go. Okay, so once you have it down, what I like to do is go back and darken any of the spots that would have gone down. So if I was writing this letter, I would have gone down here. So I'm going to make that downstroke a little bit thicker. So we're kind of mimicking what a brush pen would do if you were using one. So you can make fancy lettering, even if you don't have a fancy pen. Or if you have fancy pens, go for it. You know, earlier I was talking about doing like the crafts and the highlights magazine. They were kind of, I always say that they're kind of before their time for like upcycling. Like they were always wanting you to find things that were like recycling something, like old socks or something like that. Or, you know, cardboard boxes. So they're kind of before their time with the upcycling. So we would go around and like asking our parents, like, do we have this or that? And they're like, why are you asking for like a random sock? It's like, we're gonna make a craft. Okay. No problem. Almost done, guys. So yeah, if you don't have watercolor pencils, I highly recommend that you put them in your little arsenal of art supplies, because as you can see, they're a really fun like alternative to just using regular watercolor paint. You know, like for me, I'm using watercolor paint all the time, but to use watercolor pencils has been a really fun little change of scenery here. So there's that. And then the thing is, they're a really helpful tool, kind of like I was saying before. I like to use watercolor pencil when I'm sketching on my watercolor paper. That way, when I go to paint, the lines kind of dissolve and disappear, and you don't have that harsh like pencil line. So there you go. Oh, I was gonna do some little stars in the middle here. Sorry. Some little sparkles. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. You know what? Since we did some color ones, let's do a few ones in black ink. That way they pop. I like mixing it up sometimes. And that's kind of why I like using black ink as details sometimes on my watercolor, because it just, I feel like it makes the colors pop when you add a little bit of black outline somewhere. Okay. What do you think? I think it's good as it is. How about one more star? So hard to know when to stop. So let's do this. I'm going to take this up. Now, and you notice too, I did not have to tape this down because we really didn't use much watercolor or much water. So when you use a lot of water, you oftentimes have to tape down your paper. And since we use very little water, you don't have to do that. I didn't even have to take it off the pad of watercolor paper. So there you go. Happy 4th of July. Be safe. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And have a lot of fun. And like I said, if you do this, it won't take long. So do it real quick with the kiddos or yourself, and post it and then tag me. And I can't wait to see these. These are so much fun. So much fun. So guys, like I said, have a happy 4th of July. I'll see you soon. And oh, by the way, Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to be doing this special project with an artist friend of mine. So I'll be letting you know more. But if you want to do this with me, you need to come back Monday and Tuesday evening, and I'll be letting you know more about that. So, yep. So that's what's coming up this week. So I will see you guys later, and have a great day. Bye.